Hi and welcome to my workshop. My name is Thomas and you're watching Casual DIY channel. And in today's episode we'll be unboxing, testing and reviewing a circular saw from TECCPO. Let's check it out. So let's not waste any time and let's jump into unboxing this bad boy. Obviously, as with any tool, you've got your manual here and an Allen key. Your circular saw. An edge guide. And you're actually getting two blades. Right then, so the first thing we need to do is whack the blade in. It's fairly easily done. You've got a stop button here, press it down and then you can unscrew the holding bolt. So as you can see, it's fairly straightforward and simple. Right, so let's talk about some features of this machine. It's 1500 watts, 5800 RP, so it's quite powerful. It actually comes with two blades, 24 teeth and 40 teeth. The blades are 185 millimeters in diameter. The cutting depth is 63 millimeters at 90 degrees and 45 millimeters at 45 degrees. The machine comes with 2-meter power cable as well. Right then, so we talked about features of this machine. We've put the blade on. Let's actually put it to the test and see if it's any good. One thing that's worth mentioning at the start of it, the grip, the handles are from this really thick rubbery material that feels really well and sturdy in your hands. Even if you're gonna have your hands a bit wet or sweaty, you still should have a very tight grip on the machine. Saying that, it actually feels quite heavy. From one side, it could be a very good side that is well made from very good materials, but from the other side, you can probably get tired very quickly when using this saw. Although when you're doing panel cutting, you know, to be fair, you're not going to be holding the machine all the time. You're just going to be pushing it along the material. But always make sure that you clamp your materials firmly and correctly so you don't get any issues. But let's check it out. Let's see how it performs. First of all, we'll try to cut through some OSB. And I'm actually quite surprised how well it tackled the OSB. Usually you get a lot of tear out with this material, but with this one it seems to be very, very good. So what that says, the blade supplied with the saw is actually quite good. Next, it's time for a bit of MDF. And next we'll be tackling a scaffolding board. And now it's time for a 45-degree angle. Let's have a look if this saw can cope with that. One thing that I actually forgot to mention, one of the features of this, so as you probably already noticed, it does come with a laser, which always comes in handy, especially when you're breaking down large sheets. The saw itself is fairly basic. Obviously it's a budget, so you can probably pick it up for about 50 quid on Amazon. It seems to be made quite solidly from good materials. One thing that really bothers me about this saw, and I see it as a fairly big minus, is actually the dust extraction over here. It's located under an angle, not sure if you can see it correctly, so I couldn't attach my vacuum to it, and I don't actually like dust flying around my workshop. It usually does anyway, but in this case you would probably have to try to find another attachment especially for this saw. I'm actually not sure if the TECCPO company sells any attachments for this particular saw, but I think it actually should come with the saw itself. It comes with 2 blades, so there's no reason for them not to supply an attachment for the dust extraction. For me, that's a fairly big minus. On the plus side, for a small saw like this, is actually very powerful, 1500 watts. I mentioned at the start of the video that it's quite heavy, and it is. You will feel it after a while of using it, that it's a fairly heavy tool. But if you're breaking down a lot of sheet materials, this probably won't bother you at all. The build standard, the design is similar to any other budget type saws. And obviously the small knobs that are adjusting the angles and the depth of cut, to be fair, they could be a little bit bigger, because sometimes, you know, they're quite fiddly to grab and to adjust. So what are my overall impressions? It's a good saw. It's not brilliant, it's not bad, it's somewhere in the middle. For 50 quid, it's a fairly decent saw that you're probably going to be using during heavy construction. It's definitely not a saw that you're going to be using for cabinet making or really precise cuts. I wouldn't recommend it for that. But any rough lumber cutting or actually breaking down sheets that you're going to, you know, properly cut to the right size later on a table saw, it will do the job. As I said, it's quite powerful, so there shouldn't be any issues there. So it all comes down really to your needs and your budget. If you had 50 quid and you're looking for a basic saw, this is a good choice. It seems quite solid, well built, and you shouldn't have any major issues. So that's it for this video, guys. A quick overview of a circular saw from TECCPO. If you enjoyed this video, drop me that like button down below. If you've got any question about this saw, leave me a comment down below. But that's it for now. I'll hope to see you next week on my next woodworking adventure. Till then, take care.